What's happened to the bum bum and the whirly bit? And where's Rev J? Well, I'll tell you where Rev J is. She's not anywhere today because this episode is called Horsey Hana's Reptiles. So it's got Horsey Hana and it's got reptiles, but no Rev J at all. So, do you know what reptiles are? The dictionary says that reptiles are a group of cold-blooded animals which have skins covered with small hard plates called scales, and they lay eggs. Snakes and lizards and crocodiles are reptiles. Well, I happen to know that Horsey Hana is going to show you some lizards and some snakes, or at least one snake, if not two. But I don't think she's got a crocodile. Well, you never know what Horsey Hana has got up her sleeve. So here she is, Horsey Hana and her reptiles. Bye.
Hey Rev J, it's Horsey Hana here. So I thought I would take you round one of our other rooms. So this is the room I'm going to take you around. So let's have a look. So there's quite a lot of glass enclosures. There's just one of our reptiles there. It's quite warm in here because they are all reptiles. There's one just over there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a few out. I'm not going to get them all out because we've got quite a lot. So I'll get some more unusual ones out and yeah, see what you think of them. Okay, so this is the beautiful and lovely Taz. Now, if you look closely, when he sticks his little tongue out, it's actually a blue tongue. So he's actually called a blue tongue skink, and yeah, he looks almost like a snake and a lizard. And Taz would originally come from Australia. He's actually quite big, so the camera doesn't actually show off how big he is. There was his blue tongue. And he's an omnivore, so he eats fruit, greenery. He's getting his tongue out now a little bit more. But he also eats insects and small little slugs as well. So he eats both meat and greens, so a bit like us. He's really sweet. He's one of the best reptiles I think we've got here. He's quite unusual. You don't get to see them that much. But he's really chilled, as you can see. He's not likely to do anything. And he's just a bit of he's just a pleasure to have, really. Oh, and he's coming to say hello. So as you can see, he's almost like a snake, but with legs. So he's pretty cool. We really like him here. He's nice and slow, so anyone that's a bit nervy of any type of reptiles, we kind of use him a little bit more, just because he is that much slower, and he just likes the fuss, really. He likes to have his chin scratched. That's what he likes to have here. There you go, you can see his nice little blue tongue coming out now. So this is Taz. So I'll get some more out. I'll get some smaller ones out and give you a few fun facts. Okay, so next we've got something a little bit smaller. You may have seen probably a little bit more of these. And this is one of our little leopard geckos. So they're really small, and actually they make quite good pets if you're wanting to get into lizards. And their skin almost is velvety. I know the camera isn't really showing that well, but it is. It feels like feels like velvet. Now, the one thing with leopard geckos, which you have to be really careful with, is their tails. So you'll see that their tails, I'll just pull them up a little bit, it's a little bit fat, and actually this is where they hold most of their nutrients. Now, however, in the wild, because they have quite a lot of predators, because they're quite a small lizard, they actually have evolved. So if a bird or a predator tries to come and get them, what they do is they actually drop their tail off, and it will wriggle a little bit to distract the predator while they scurry off. Now, it will grow back, but it will grow back extremely slowly. So it's quite a unique thing about the leopard geckos. Now, when we are handling them, we do have to be careful with their tails, because they are actually that delicate. So if I pulled on the tail too hard, then the tail would actually fall off. So we've got quite a lot of leopard geckos. They're quite a common lizard. You'll see them quite a lot in pet shops, because they're quite a good first type of lizard to start with, and they're just really cute. And they come in all different colours. So they are primarily spotty, so you'll see that this one's got a few different spots, and that's just for camouflage, really. They're not too quick of a lizard, so again, that's why they're quite a good pet. And they're quite easy to look after, aren't they? Yeah. So, like I said, we've got a few of these different colours, and they come from all around the world, really. So, got a little leopard gecko. So, let me get another one out, and let's see what I've got next. So I've got another smaller lizard here, but this one's a little bit more quicker. So this is, I'm going to hold on to him. So this is a dab-tailed lizard. So they get their name primarily from the way that their tails look. So, and it looks like it's quite rough, but actually this lizard is really, really soft, but they are extremely quick. And we have two of these, and this one's called Atlas, and they're primarily found in the Middle Eastern areas and South Africa. I won't have this one out for very long because he, like you can see, he is actually fairly quick, and they do like to be on the move. But we've got a red coloured one and this beautiful looking yellow one. He's checking himself out in the camera. So have a little closer look at him. He'll start to slow down in a minute. There you go. Oh, there you go. So there you go. You can see his tail here. It looks like it's got horns, and that's more of an evolutionary trait to warn off predators, but it actually doesn't really do anything. So he's pretty cute. Right, I'm going to get my last one, and Rev J, I'm not sure you're going to like this one. Okay, so Rev J, this is one you're going to love. So this is called Dallas, and he's actually a corn snake. So although he will slightly constrict, can't quite see his head, although he will constrict, but that's not really their primary source. So he's actually one of our medium-sized snakes. He's not our biggest snake. So he is a corn snake, and his name's called Dallas. So that's kind of a clue of where he's from. So he is from America, and he's from Dallas. So here he eats mice, because that is so now he's constricted himself around my arm, or my hand. It doesn't hurt, because he's really small, and that's fine. And actually it's better that he sits and constricts, because he's just that much easier to hold. So here we feed him mice. They are dead, they're not alive, I promise. But in the wild it would be like rodents. So in America it would be like gerbils and things like that. So this is the lovely Dallas. Like I said, he's one of our medium-sized snakes. We've got some smaller snakes, but we do actually have a larger snake, which I did want to get out today, but unfortunately he is actually what we call sloughing. So in other words, he's shedding his skin. So when they shed their skin, they become quite delicate. So what we try and not do is we try not handle them when they're sloughing. So unfortunately I couldn't get our bigger snake out. So my favourite snake here is actually the biggest snake. He's a lot slower, so he is actually a lot easier to handle, the bigger snake. And that is because he is actually a boa constrictor, and his name is Oba. But I will get him out on another occasion once he's all finished sloughing. But so I thought I'd get you out a fairly largish snake. But this one's quite quick. He's not our quickest one. We do have some smaller ones which really do slither along. These are, honestly, they're totally harmless. They're not venomous. I wouldn't say he wouldn't bite, but every animal, including, you know, dogs, hamsters, rabbits, are very much capable of biting. But you know, he's great. So one thing about snakes you do have to think about is try and not hold them by their head. They don't like it. So give them their head, which is what I'm doing here, and just kind of let them do whatever they want, really. So this is about the largest size he's going to get. He's not going to get any bigger. But he likes to just wrap himself, really, and that's what snakes just like to do. It's just where they feel secure. So I hope you have liked seeing some of our reptiles. We do have more, but I thought I'd show you some of the interesting ones. So from me and Dallas, we will see you soon.
Horsey Hana, thank you so much for that amazing collection and those close-ups on all those amazing reptiles. You have seen Taz, the blue-tongued skink. We have seen a leopard gecko without a name. We have seen Atlas, the dab-tailed lizard, and Dallas, the corn snake. We are so grateful to all our stars, and especially to Horsey Hana, who has held them all. Wowza, wowza. And we would really like to see maybe some more insects, or maybe I'll definitely want to see that boa constrictor once he or she has sloughed. And what's all that about? What do they look like after that? And yeah, I think you've got some small animals too. Anyhow, the next episode of Rev J will be coming pretty fast on the back of this one. And it's episode 9, revved up with Rev J. And it's called The Little Gate. Bye for now, but see you soon. When Hannah gets her reptiles out of the cage, they're gonna slide and slither and slide. When Hannah gets her reptiles out of the cage, they're gonna slide, slide, slide. Slide, 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 slide. Funky reptiles slide. Funky reptiles.